All right, today we are at Shootout Lane, shooting the Bossier Parish Practical Shooters monthly USPSA match. And this month it was an all classifier match. The match is over. Pretty busy today. We had a small squad and I was helping run timers a bunch and that kind of thing. So didn't get to do as much video as I wanted to in between, like beforehand and then in between stuff. It's just been really busy all day. It's 11:30. We started about 8:30, so made good time. 6 classifier stages. Couple big things for today. Shooting LO instead of CO. Not shooting appendix like I thought about doing. Kind of got my thrills on the appendix last week shooting IDPA, and that's all I shoot at IDPA anyway, so I kind of wanted to play with some other stuff. So today I shot my wife's M&P 2.0, the Optic Ready, not the Pro Series, I forget the exact model info on it, but it's got the same or similar EOTech. It's a 6 MOA EOTech. Like my Glocks have 3 MOA EOTechs. Got a Terran Tactical magwell on it, and the main reason I brought that to shoot, A, it's got the magwell so it fits in limited optics, and that's why I wanted to get classified in. But then B, I'm trying to get it set up a little bit more for her, and so I was borrowing magazines with different base pads on it to try and test those out to pick new ones for her. The magazines, when I used to shoot that gun, the magazines were always a headache for me, so trying to just revisit that and shake it out for her. That way, if she wants to shoot a little bit more, it's, it's better off than just me saying, yeah, it should be good to go, here you go, and sending her off with it. It's actually been put through its paces and made sure it's all set. Did really well, busted a high hit factor on a stage, shot a couple master and high A class. Also shot some lower ones. Not all classifiers are created equal for every shooter, so we had some of that going on today for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how.
Are you ready? Stand by. Time 5.
Once I got the results, I had some different thoughts that I wanted to share along with the original thoughts. Alright, that was stage 1. That is what I'm talking about, how you start the day. It felt really good. There was a lot of debate back and forth. Shoot the plate racks, or not the plate rack, but shoot the plates, then the targets, or the targets then the plate. For anyone not familiar, basically the stage calls for you to shoot either the paper targets or the steel, and then do a mandatory reload and shoot whichever one you didn't shoot first. So people are arguing or debating, do the draw to the paper, reload to steel, or draw to steel, reload to paper. My opinion of it, and this is why I did what I did, is I can draw and shoot the steel clean and then reload, and when I come back to the paper, I'm a lot less, what's the word? Rushed is not exactly the word, but that'll work, basically mentally rushed. I'm more mentally focused at that point to go from the steel to reload, paper. I get on those spots better. So that's what I did, and it worked out for me. I've got some notes here of the results. 0305, 101.4364%. Yeah, that's right. The high hit factor is 9.6841, and I shot it at a 9.8 .232. That's a 9.6 high hit factor. I shot a 9.8. That's what I'm talking about. That's insane. Also, that's my first ever GM classifier with a pistol. I got 1 or 2 in PCC when I shot that classifier match a couple years ago, but this is my first one over, I believe, 91% in a pistol division. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Decided that that's the way you start the day, but at the same time, you have this subconscious yeah, but you're not gonna be able to break the hit factor on every stage. So I'm not sure if it set me up for success or failure. All I know is it was 101 and almost 0.5%, and it was yeah. All right, next stage.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have done it. No, not that one, dude.
The one I've got.
So alphas. Yeah, alphas are right. So 5, 3, 1. So alphas. Are you ready? Stand by. There you go. Nice.
So stage 2 is 0910, and that is actually one that I have never shot before, and I like it. Small stage, a little bit of movement, but some good kind of up down stuff as you saw. Yeah, probably now, having shot it, I could have shot it a little bit better. But not knowing going into it, you kind of that's the truest form of the classifiers, is when you haven't shot a stage yet and you shoot it and you get a percentage from that. I mean, it's definitely a more pure version of getting classified than a stage you shot 5 or 6 times, because we only shoot a stage once in our sport. Or that's the idea. You may get people reusing stages from majors at locals, but it never comes out the same anyway. So that's the difference between a classifier stage and the sport in general. But yeah, 84.0833%. To make master, you needed a 10.091 hit factor, and I had a 9.9822. Missed it by that much, but still like the stage. Really good one. You never know with some of the earlier ones. And by the way, this is a early classifier heavy match. We'll get into that more later.
Make ready. So we got 3 more stages, and it's not even 2 o'clock yet.
Well, yeah, just stop shooting when you hit 10, and then put another magazine. The wallet crap gets everybody will know the time.
My skin is so nasty and oily.
That's you gotta count while you shoot.
I put it on multiple times.
Yeah, Walmart shoes. It's great. It'll last even when the white wear lasts 3 times. That white look.
Are you ready? Stand by.
I mean, it's all on my pants.
All right, stage 3, there it is. 2101 8x3 trigger freeze. 21 series classifier. Everybody, I think, has done this one 100 times except me. This was my first time shooting this stage. A lot of stuff happened over the last couple of years, both in the sport and personal stuff. So for one reason or the other, I haven't had a ton of the new, so the 21, 22, 23, 24 series classifiers. I haven't shot a lot of those. I've shot a few of them, but not like, not most of them, put it that way. So this is one I've been waiting to get at, but it's been a while since I looked at it, so I could not remember. Everybody's run it every which way. It's a start anywhere type of thing. You can do anything you want with that. So everybody, when it first came out, was gaming, do you go this way then that way then this way, etc. And it's been so long since I've thought about this stage that I could not remember what I had decided the optimal stage plan was. So I went into it, looked at it, said I'm going to do this, and that's what we did. Came out okay. Could have been better. I could have collected more alphas. Went a little wild with some of that, but overall not bad. A 85.6061%. Master is a 12.67 hit factor. I got a 12.76. So thought that was some funny numbers there. But yeah, good stage. Fun. Everybody likes it. Everybody tried to burn it down. Didn't exactly go good for everybody when they did that. And I did a little bit of burning it down, and same thing happened to me. Starting to really notice some of the things that Hunter Constantine talked about in his video about the different classes, how each class shoots. Starting to really see the difference in time with GMs and masters are like the same, but then hits are not the same. Like, a GM and an M may have the same time, but the GM has the alphas there, has the hits. The M hurries to get the time and does not get the hits. So I'm starting to really notice that.
Wrist above shoulders. Yeah. Are you ready? Stand by. Fucking nasty reload. Time.
All right, stage 4. This is where things really went downhill, and this is where we're going to talk about the early series classifier. So this is a 0308. So if you notice, we had 0305, 0308, and 0309. Half of the match had classifiers from 2003 series. So not exactly tickled about that. And this is where this one really shows why. Honestly, though, like, I did pretty well with it. There was something weird that happened with my grip in the middle of that array that, I don't know, something just shifted weird or it bounced weird. And so I shoot alpha, 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 just all the way across, do my reload, come back across, and right there in the middle at the worst spot with that tight target, that tight no shoot, it does something weird and kicks off. If it had been on one of the wider ones, would have been a Charlie. On this one, it was a no shoot. And honestly, I have no idea outside of the fact that maybe something to do with shooting this M&P instead of my normal Glock, because you shoot new guns, weird things happen type of deal. I like I said, I don't really know. I noticed it in the moment, like I knew it happened, but the stage is Virginia count, and that's a whole nother topic. But at the same time, we'll touch on a little bit here. The first 3 stages, stage 1, 2, and 3 that we've covered so far, are all Comstock scoring, meaning you're allowed to do makeup shots. You're allowed to hit the target more than the required. Like if 2 hits per target, you can hit it 3 or 4 times if you need to. If you felt a bad shot, you can make it up. You don't get penalized for anything extra. Virginia count, every shot extra and every hit extra is a penalty. So if you miss the target completely and do a shot to make it up, you get penalized for the extra shot, even if there's no extra hits. But if there was already 2 shots on there and you put a third shot on there, now you get penalized for the shot and the hit. So it really sucks. It just really sucks. Nobody, I think, likes Virginia count. I understand why it exists for the types of stages you're shooting, like putting a certain number on targets, then doing a reload, then putting a certain number on. It needs to, but it's still annoying. And these first 3 stages that went really good were all Comstock. I actually didn't do any makeup shots either. But these next 3 stages where I start having some like issues are all Virginia, where I can't do makeups, can't correct any errors. So that's a thing here. I mean, all alphas on this stage, 1 no shoot, and Mike outside of that. If it was Comstock, it would have at least been a 2 alpha with a no shoot instead of a Mike and a no shoot, but can't make up the shots.
Time 5.67. 5.67. Ready? Are you ready? Stand by. Time 7.61.
All right, stage 5. This one kind of pisses me off. 2401, so it's brand new, last year classifier, and you've actually seen it recently. And I shot a 85 plus. I didn't look it up, write it down, but an 85+% run on it, and I knew I could do a little bit more, and I think that's what tripped me up here. It still counted as a classifier run, or like one of the 4 of the 6 that are going to get used, but it was not where it should have been. It should have been at least 85% going off of previous experience with that stage, and instead it's a 70.48, so 70.5%, so 15% off of where I should be with that stage. Part of it was reloads. I've been doing good on reloads all day, and then I just started sucking on reloads. I think it's because I was pushing too hard, trying to go too fast on the whole thing. I think it got tense, and then when I try to get those reloads, it just nothing was lining up right how it was supposed to. But it is what it is. So real quick, to look at what's going to be the actual classification: stage 1, 101%, stage 2, 84%, stage 3, 85%, and then stage 5, 70%. Those are going to be the 4 stages that count for my initial classification in limited optics. Oh yeah, did I mention we're shooting limited optics? The previous stage of 52% because of a Mike no shoot, and then the next stage will not count because they were the worst 2 of that. That's if I understand everything with the new classification system, or with the classification system upgrades. That classification, though, brings it up to 85.4023. So, initial classifier as a master in limited optics. I'm a master in carry optics. I wanted to see, how well I could just jump over with whatever and keep that high standard, and I did it. It's right right in there. If you were to look at my classification record right now, carry optics and limited optics are just right there, neck and neck. So now I am a 3-division USPSA master. Limited optics is the newest, carry optics right before that, and then for a while now, PCC. If I shot PCC more, I might actually get better at that and move on, but that's a different story. As far as the stage went, like I said, rushed it a lot, pulled some shots, had some time issues, bad reloads. The wheels just fell off of it. But my wheels falling off is still a 70%. I could have, I'm 15% plus maybe 16% down from the last time I shot it, I do believe. But I'm also know I could have gotten 3 or 4 more % out of that just where I'm at. Had I done everything right, maybe it was the difference between changing guns. I don't know. So anywhere from 15 to 20% down on that stage, and it kind of hurts. But it is what it is. We still got, it was still enough to keep that master classification.
Nice and toasty, y'all. Nice and toasty.
Good old blow crap up on the or up on the window. Cover like this. Are you shooting MP today?
Yeah.
I'm doing that at a map with anything. I sold mine. Look at this Walter.
So hot.
It is.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Ready? Don't do that big step. Oh, the last one. I'm almost out of water.
I'm almost out of freaking gas. That's what I'm out of.
Stand by. Wow.
That's
Finished. Unload and throw clear.
All right, the last one. This one is also one that I've done before. It's 0309. I have mixed feelings about it. In the past, I did not like it. The last time I shot it, it did not go well at all. But there were other things happening at that match too. And this was probably 2 years ago. This time, I tried to remember what lessons I learned from that match, and let's just say did not successfully remember. Basically, it's a deal of timing your steps. On my first string, you can see my big step while I'm still shooting. That was the bad timing, so I go pop, 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 and step over and shoot. And in that shot, it moves the gun too much, and just yoinked it bad into the no shoot, and got the other hit, and then eased over. I still think I had to get farther over for that last target. So I took a big step trying to hit that, and hit a no shoot, and still wasn't in the right position. So it just all went bad. Now, because on the second string, you see I start bop, bop, bop. I take my step, went over, early instead of while I'm shooting, get it, and then just lean over, and there it is. And I got the hits that I needed. The time was good, all of that kind of stuff. If I'd done that both times, it would have been a great run. As it was, we're looking at a 60.7899, so almost 61%. Man, what a mic and a no-shoot does to you. And I don't remember if this one, I thought this one was Virginia count, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure. I'll have to go back to look. Could have turned a 60 into an 80 without a mic and a no-shoot pretty easily. So, don't hit no-shoots. Don't take big steps that make you do all this when you're trying to shoot. It doesn't go well.
Yeah.
So,
It was a blast. Got some people to come shoot that I've been like working on trying to get them to come shoot for a long time. They came out. The match filled up. 5 full squads, I think, of 10 people each. So it had 50 plus shooters signed up. I think they said 14 people didn't show. So, you know, is what it is. But it was a good turnout. It was a good time. Ready to shoot some real matches instead of all classifiers again, though. Between all classifier matches and IDPA matches, it just feels like for the last couple weeks I've been shooting a different style of shooting than USPSA, even though the classifier match is USPSA, and it just doesn't. I don't know, I'm ready to get back to big field stages and, you know, medium and long course field stages and whatever else.